what's up, family? You know what time it is, man. Here we are once again in the backyard studio. A little different setup for you today, man, because we like to keep it, keep it fresh and sexy for you. But again, it is another Cigars and Conversation with your boys from A Puff a Minute. I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Breaker. What's good, people?
Yo, let me go back on that, man. Let me say this is the original Cigars and Conversations, because y'all know what y'all seeing pop up out there. Yeah. This is the blueprint. This is the one that everybody wants to, copy off or whatever the case may be. But we still here. We still do what we do. We still the original, you know what I'm saying? We are the innovators. Puff a Minute, Cigars and Conversation. That's what's up right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling, family?
Man, it's good, man. It's another beautiful day. We got a little haze out here in Vegas today, man.
I ain't even recognize it, man. It's early morning again, y'all, because you know what I'm saying, it gets hot later on in the afternoon, so we out here in the early day. But it's a lot of, looks like overcast to me, man. You can't even see the sky right now. It's just all cloudy and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just happy to be healthy and happy right now, man. It's a crazy time. I said early in January, bro. This is protect my peace year, and that's what I've been doing, bro. Just focus on protecting my peace, staying happy and healthy as I can right now, man. It's been good. It's been good. I got no complaints, bro.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got to look out for yourself first, man. But before we even get into it, bro, let's talk about what we chopping on today a little bit, bro. What you got there?
Yeah, I had to pull this one out, man. So I hadn't bought an Alec and Bradley, and or Alec Bradley, and I don't know how long, right? But we recently saw them again at PCA. Yeah. They always good dudes, man. Support the show, support a Puff a Minute. But I forgot how good these cigars really are. Yeah. And you get so caught up, man. Like I said, you look at my box, it's probably 80% of Illusione in that box. So I was okay, let me pull out something a little different. I forgot how good these Lost Arts were, man. Yeah. These came out a couple years ago, and I think we did like a full review on them when they first came out. The Lost Art, the Tempest, and all that line came out. But this one is really nice, man. This is Honduran and Nicaraguan. Honduran wrapper, Nicaraguan fillers. But it's a nice mix, a nice combo. And it's not overly complex, right? They got the San Andreas with the Nicaraguan, Dominican, blah, blah, blah. It's like it's two things, man, but it's done well. Yeah. So you can tell the tobacco's aged well. You got some good veins in there. The construction looks good, man. I'm enjoying this stick. It's like bringing me back to, one of them times where I enjoy the stick. And that's sometimes what you want, right? Yeah, you get that moment of zen again. You get to have your mini vacation, as Mick always says.
Exactly. Nah, bro, that's what's up, fam. Like, unlike you, if you looked in my box, you would not see a lot of Illusione because I went through them all so quickly. So I recently just, re-upped on a few. Okay. This is one of my favorites, man. The Fume del Amor. You know what I'm saying? Again, you don't really have to say a whole lot about the, about the Illusione, because you know what it is, bro. It's a Nicaraguan Puro. Yeah. Right? Through and through. From start to finish. You know what I'm saying? Dion Giolotti, he really does his thing to mix these things up just right. Yeah. So again, this is one of my favorites. So I was happy to break this one out today. Straight cut that with my Illusione cutter, man, right there. Guillotine cutter, man, that was given to me by my man Brian, man. I told him, man, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my Illusione fellas, man. Again, you know what I'm saying? They always show love, man. Always. True, like you said, we rolled out with them at PCA just much, man. They always kind of open the door for us wherever we are. Yeah. So shout out and love to that crew, man. And that's what's going on, man. I'm sipping on a little bit of Irish coffee on this side. And you showed up with the Uncle Nearest, baby. So I gotta take a sip of that too with you. You know what I mean? So so that's what's going down, baby. What we chopping it up about today, fam?
Man, I think it's the same thing that's probably on everybody's mind right now, because they say it probably 1,000 times on the news, the Delta variant, right? Yeah. So the Delta variant is running rampant. Yeah. You've seen the numbers in Florida. You see what's going on in Texas. That could be a whole episode what Texas got going on when it comes to COVID. But Florida's approach to it as well, and the spread of the virus down there. But even here at home in Vegas, I think it was a week ago they committed 1,100 people to UMC Hospital with the Delta variant, and I think a majority of them were on respirators. And once you see the respirators come out, it's like downhill from there.
Yeah, and most people, they say like 80% of people who go on respirators never come off, right? So it's a very high percentage. Speaking of home, Nevada, man, I want to say yesterday the governor put out something that we just reached 6,000 new cases. Since the Delta variant came out. Now, we have the Delta variant, right? So again, most of y'all know how the Greek alphabet works, right? So Delta will be the 4th mutation, right? So when it first came out last year, that would have been considered the alpha, so to speak, right? The vaccinations that were created were based on that alpha, right? And now, I guess, beta and gamma, the mutations weren't significant enough to really have to focus on. But this Delta variant, man, was like highly contagious, right? Unlike more contagious than the original, right? So whereas with the original, you may have to be in somebody's company for a few minutes or this, that, and the other thing, right? They say maintain 6 feet of distance. They say don't touch nothing after, or whatever the case was. But with this Delta variant, it is literally so contagious that you can walk past somebody on the street, and if they're breathing out and you're breathing in, you can pass it that quickly. That's how contagious it is, and that's what people didn't realize. Now, where did the government fail as far as I'm concerned? Where did the CDC fail, right? They failed when they told people, hey, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. They created this false narrative, and they're still pushing it to an extent that that is unvaccinated people who are causing this latest surge, and that is not the case. The truth of the matter is, it was the vaccinated people who were refusing to wear masks that were becoming the super spreaders, right? I'm gonna tell y'all on camera, man. Yo, your boy got it, right? I got hit with the coronavirus last month. With COVID last month. I went through it, and again, I didn't really have major. I wasn't hospitalized or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it was in my system. I know for a fact that I received it from a fully vaccinated person. I know for a fact. I remember the day and the time when it happened. When the dude walked in my office, coughing and all of this type of stuff, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm fully vaccinated." And I'm looking at this fool like, "You better put a mask on," And I'm trying not to be rude because I'm in my office, right? So in my office, I don't have a mask on. Right? So I'm like, should I reach for a mask? Would that be offensive? Or this, that? I wish I had offended that fool because I let him infect me. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's really what it came down to. Not whether or not you were vaccinated or unvaccinated. It was whether you were masked or unmasked. But now trying to cover their tracks, right? They're still pushing this false narrative that it was due to unvaccinated people. Now, I'm going to say this much. I believe personally that probably 75-80% of the people out there need to be vaccinated. I'm gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. You need to mask up because that's how this thing is passed and transmitted. I'm still on the side of the fence where I don't believe in getting vaccinated. Right, and again, that's my personal belief, man. I consult my ancestors, whatever the case may be. But that's how I personally feel about it. But I still think most people should be, you know what I'm saying? Because most people aren't putting in the work, that I'm putting in, trying to constantly build and strengthen my immune system. But even with that, bro, there's no guarantee that I won't get it again or what have you. Or, I got the antibodies in my system now, so to speak, right? So it is what it is. My body did what it was supposed to do, and it fought the virus without any external intervention. But go ahead, bro. What you got?
But I was just thinking, man, like, the whole mask and not wearing a mask thing, that was because when people were sick, they wouldn't stay home. Now you got this whole
for economic reasons.
True. But at the same time, it was like if you were sick, people were not staying home when they were sick, just thinking, it was a regular cold or I just got the regular flu, and they were going to the grocery store, going to the mall, just spreading that stuff around everybody because they didn't want to wear a mask. So it was like, okay, now we got this blanket and mask mandate that now covers everybody. That was last year. Now it's coming back, right? But at the same time, it's like now you got this whole variant where people who are vaccinated can be walking around with it and not have any symptoms, or for them it may be like a head cold or sniffles. And living here in Vegas where everybody got allergies, they just chalk it up to all my allergies is acting up today. But no, you got COVID and you walk around just spreading it to everybody because you vaccinated and you decided not to wear a mask.
You're not wearing a mask. Exactly.
So it was like the whole mask thing. Like, I think people underestimated how effective wearing masks were, and why last winter when it was supposed to peak, it didn't. And then we got all the way through January, February, and it wasn't peaking like everybody said it was. But now it is, because now you got another variant. But here's the thing that trips me out, man. It's like, they originally came out and said it's a novel virus, right? That means for you, for me, it's going to be different. And that also means it's going to change from time to time. That's what the regular flu is. I was like, how could you not anticipate this was going to happen?
But they knew it was going to happen.
Exactly.
They did anticipate it. They knew it was going to happen. They're just not telling us, you know. So at the end of the day, like I said, the vaccination was for the original. Everybody is going to experiment. Most people are going to have different symptoms.
Exactly.
I've had people who said, "Oh, I thought I had food poisoning." You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be something that people say, because nobody is going to want to jump to the conclusion that, damn it, I might got this doggone COVID, right? So everybody's going to rationalize and come up with something else, right? So, but at the end of the day, we're talking Delta, all right? Delta Plus just landed in the United States, okay? Delta Plus, which is supposedly even worse than Delta, obviously, right? That's why they put a plus on it. But other than that, the Lambda variant is now, it started in South America, it is now in the U.S. They're not even talking about that. So I think it was Moderna 2 days ago that came out with the announcement that said, hey, we're going to have booster shots this fall. Right. Yeah. Again, you got to have a booster, or you got to have a whole nother shot, or whatever the case may be. To your point, that's why you have a new flu shot every year, because it mutates. Well, this thing is mutating every freaking other day, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's mutating at an accelerated rate. Basically, is what I'm getting at, right? So I mean, since the beginning of July, right, we've seen Delta, now Delta Plus at the beginning of August, and Lambda hitting the shores at the same time. Right? We're going to go through the whole Greek alphabet here. You know what I'm saying? We're probably going to double up, man. You know what I'm saying? Alpha, beta, gamma. It's going to be like chapters of this thing, right?
It's like batteries.
Exactly.
Double A.
So, I mean, get used to it. This is the new normal, right? So, with that being the case, do you wait for the new antivirus, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm sorry, the new vaccine, right? Do you wait for the new vaccine? Do you constantly have to go back and get a booster shot every couple of months, or this, that, or what have you, as these things keep mutating? But still, nobody knows the long-term effects of COVID-19, number one, because there's a new study that's just came out about long COVID, is what they're calling it. All right, and in this new study, it's saying, wow, way after people have had it, gotten healed and what have you, they're still suffering from memory loss, right? What they call the COVID fog. People are still suffering from Alzheimer's type symptoms. People are still suffering from, blood circulation issues, right, and what have you. Circulation and stuff. I put myself through triage every morning. Right, that's just my routine now. Right? I triage myself. I get up in the morning. I get on the scale, check my weight. I get done with that. I check my blood pressure and my oxygen levels. Right, I get done with that. With the oxygen level, I check my temperature. I go through a total triage every morning, man, because I just want to trend to see what's going on and if anything is changing. Right, so I can stay in front of things because I'm not vaccinated. Okay, and that's what I mean when I say most people aren't going to do what I have committed to do as an unvaccinated person. And
you're right, man, because like even when my wife got COVID, she probably had every symptom you could think of. So for her, she thought she had a hangover, like you said, denial. But for her, like, man, she has those long-term effects, days where she just is cloudy, can't really focus. Then she has days where she's tired, and she'll be talking to me, and it's like she's almost like wheezing, like she got asthma or something. Like she's taking a deep breath to even get words out. out.
Right.
And I'm like, are you all right? Are you breathing okay? Like, do you feel okay? She's like, yeah, but I'm like, I just seen you go up them steps and you huffing and puffing like you just walked a mile or something.
Exactly.
I'm like, are you okay? So you can tell there's people with these long-term effects, right? But the question I was asking, man, is like, okay, with all this going on, you know, we know there's the vaccine positives, the pros and cons of getting the vaccine. It's the pros and cons of not getting vaccinated. I think the biggest thing, right?
Know the cons. That's the problem.
That's the thing. So the biggest thing about not getting the vaccine is not having to deal with the downside of getting the vaccine and what long-term effects you may have from even getting the vaccine.
The downside of not being vaccinated, right, is being a scourge of society because of the propaganda, right, in the
about
media,
getting vaccinated.
about they got everybody out here looking at the unvaccinated like they're a legion of lepers. You feel me? So again, they're like, oh, such and such, and they're putting the blame because of false information, right? They're putting the blame for this latest surge on the unvaccinated, and it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the unmasked. So again, it's misinformation that people, you know, that's the problem with the Americans, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. The problem with us is we don't think critically anymore. We just take the bullshit information. I'm using my outside voice right now for what I'm thinking in my head, but we take that information that is fed to us, right? We internalize it and we regurgitate it and we say it as if, you know, well, you know, the science says this and the science says that. That's not science, fool. That's NBC. That's not science. That's the stuff that you're receiving from the outside. Let's talk about science for a minute. Can we talk about science for a minute?
I was about to hit you with something else, but we'll go. No, I'm just gonna say, man, like that's almost, I can almost play devil's advocate with that, right? Because you brought up the media, what the media is pushing. They push it hard for people to get vaccinated. They start knocking on people's doors and stuff about getting vaccinated.
Exactly.
But isn't that what Trump was saying about the news last year? Every time something didn't fit his narrative, it was fake news.
Understood. I'm not saying, okay, no, what I'm saying to you, brother, is there's some truth to it, right? Like I started off by saying I believe probably 80% of people probably should be vaccinated.
You did.
Okay? All right. So again, I'm not taking a hard line and saying nobody should be vaccinated, this, that, and the other thing. What I'm saying is, if it's science starts off by identifying a problem.
Yeah.
Okay? Then after you identify the problem, you form a hypothesis on how to solve the problem. Okay. Then after you form the hypotheses, you go into development to try to develop the solution.
Experiment.
You go into the experiment phase, right? And then after the experiment phase, now typically, especially if you're talking in a pharmaceutical industry, right? You have test cases where you give half of the people the new drug and you give half of the people a placebo, and then you evaluate the results from each test group. That hasn't been done, all right? That hasn't been done. What they did was, in the experiment phase, they said, give this shit to everybody, right? We'll figure it out later on. We'll figure it out. So nobody knows the long-term effects of these vaccines. You know, at the end of the day, man, I'm concerned about me and my household, and my family. You feel me? So at the end of the day, bro, you know, I don't know, man. I don't have a hard line. I know how I feel. I know what my personal beliefs are and my personal standards. The day that I have to compromise, right, my personal beliefs and my personal standards, won't be a good day. But I'm not saying that day won't come. You know what I'm saying? Out of necessity, because society is going to make it impossible to live for people who are unvaccinated. You're not going to be able to buy no food. I was saying this from the beginning. If you're not going to be able to go to the grocery store. They're already fooling with travel. They already got this thing now where the federal government is like, you know, they mandated that everybody has to be vaccinated that works in the federal government. Okay, I got you, right? But if some companies are doing that now, and if you choose not to, they say, okay, you have to submit to weekly or maybe even daily tests, right? Now here's the thing. They're saying that those tests got to be at your own expense. Those tests ain't cheap. No. Vaccinations are free, right? Testing right now is free, so to speak. But if they make, you know, even to the point where they say the unvaccinated have to pay for tests, that's going to be a huge expense for a lot of people.
And that depends on which test you got to get, right? Like if you get the regular COVID test, and yeah, it's 7 to 10 days you get your results. You may be walking around for 5 days with it, but if you get a rapid test, it's $100.
Exactly.
So at least that's what it is right now. It could go up. Who knows?
Exactly. Yep.
But like you said, travel is getting crazy. Now you got these countries with these websites. You got to register on the website before you can enter the country and all this stuff. And you got to show your vaccination cards now. It's everything you had said early on, bro, is starting to come to fruition, which is crazy.
Yeah, people think that I just be like making shit up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I actually research stuff, man. But at the end of the day, think about this. What's going to happen, right, when the pharmaceutical companies can no longer afford to provide these vaccinations? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At free, or the government can no longer subsidize them.
Right.
What's going to happen then, right? Because once your body, it's like anything else, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. Follow me? If you are, let's just say you injure your arm or whatever the case may be, right? And you need to rehab it and all of this stuff to get it back. And you don't do no rehab, you just don't do no, you just keep it in a sling. You will lose the use of your arm eventually, right? Your body is the same. Your body just, so if you are not utilizing your own internal immune system, right? Because you have subsidized it, right, with something else that you say, okay, you don't need your immune system to fight the disease because this vaccine is going. Then your immune system, when it comes to that particular entity, that virus, it'll shut down. Right? So now you're dependent upon these shots. What's going to happen when they start charging for these shots in the future, bro? You know how a vaccine works, right? A vaccine says, oh, there's a virus out there. There's something that's out there, okay, and it's attacking the system. What you do is you take a little bit of that vaccine, the virus, right? You take a little bit of that virus, you inject it into your body, and then your own immune system says, wait a minute, this is foreign. This ain't supposed to be here. So what do they do? Your body builds up antibodies in order to fight that virus, right? So you don't have to deal with it no more. That's the way it works. That's the way it worked in my body, by the way. Okay, my body's like, yo, this don't belong here. So let's build up the antibodies to fight this thing, so on and so forth. Now, this is my only problem with the vaccine.
There's no virus.
There's no virus in it.
There's no virus in it.
Man, if it was a true vaccine, I'd have been like, shoot, bro, shoot me up. But there's no virus in it, right? It is genetic material developed in a laboratory that mimics the virus.
And they don't know if all of it was developed in the laboratory, bro. There might be human DNA, fetal materials within that vaccine. Nobody knows. I was like, they still haven't released the ingredients of any of the vaccines.
Here's the argument of the ignorant. Okay, well, bro, you know what I'm saying? When you get a headache, you take a Tylenol, right? You know what's in the Tylenol? Do you know what's in that? Right?
Yes.
You know what's in that?
Yes.
I don't have to know what's in that. What I do know is that Tylenol has been on the market for like 50 years or whatever the case may be, right? So it's proven. If there was side effects or stuff like that was taking people out after the fact, it would have already been identified.
And you can
don't know about this virus.
You can look those things up. You can look on the back of a package of aspirin and see what the ingredients of the aspirin are. And like you said, the FDA process. But when have you ever seen a drug get released to the market in less than 2 years?
Right.
2 years is like the minimum. 2 years is like the minimum. It takes 8 to 10 years to release a new drug.
There's a scientific process.
Look at Pfizer and Moderna's balance sheets and books. They spend so much money on R&D. The majority of their spending goes into R&D. Why? Because you can't just go out there with a new product to the market. So all of a sudden, in less than 2 months, you got a fully fledged vaccine.
Functional vaccine.
Come on, man. Like I took the vaccine.
You an experiment.
I took the vaccine. I still be debating whether or not I should have got it.
You still part of the experimental phase.
For me, it was a personal choice. Like you said, at the end of the day, for everybody, it got to be a personal choice. I got a kid in my house that cannot get a fever. If she gets a fever, she's getting hospitalized. You know, that's it and that's all. So I'm like, we got to do what we can to protect her. So we all had to make that decision to do it. Plus, I wanted to travel, and I knew what they was going to do with the travel thing. They was going to come out and say, if you're not vaccinated, blah, blah, all this kind of crap. So them was my 2 reasons for doing it. But if you ain't got a personal reason for doing it, if your only reason is because you saw them on the media pumping this into your head, you needed to get vaccinated, that's the worst reason to go down there and do it. The worst reason.
But what I don't understand is, or what I guess I do understand it, because what you just said was a personal reason, and I respect the hell out of it, right? What I don't understand is why people who go and get both shots, right, and become fully vaccinated, that afterwards become evangelists, right? They go out and tell everybody else that you need to do what I did, right? Not because they have any more information, but really it's because they did it, so it's got to be the right thing. It is literally a Borg mentality type of mindset, bro, that goes out and does that, man. It reminds me of the Stepford Wives, man. It's an old ass movie. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it reminds me of something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, try it. It's going to be the greatest thing that you ever had, so on and so forth. You need to do this. You need to do this. But the truth of the matter is, we still don't know the neurological effects, man. The long-term effects and what have you. And again, I'm not saying that. Hopefully, it's all good. Right? I'm not saying that I know, because I don't. Right? I don't know that the long-term effects of the vaccinations are going to be negative. I have no idea. But the problem is, I also have no idea that they won't be. Feel me? So again, I might be gambling a little bit or whatever. But you know, I just it's kind of like we're between a rock and a hard place, man. You know what I'm saying? I think the best thing that you can do at this stage of the game is to try to enhance prevention. Right? Prevention from catching it. Right? Not prevention from, if I catch it, then this is going to limit my results, because that's, you know, we don't know. So I'm saying prevention from catching it. The only way that we know today that can help you prevent from catching it is wear a mask. So wear a mask, people.
Well, I'll tell you, man, I likened it on the last episode to what they did with the kids with childhood vaccinations. Smallpox, chicken pox, you know, all these little childhood diseases, they made them go and get vaccinated. And the schools actually said, your child cannot attend school if they don't have those vaccinations. So we hope it doesn't get to that point.
It's getting there.
I hope it doesn't, man. I hope it doesn't.
It's getting. Like, I'm very
because that's like saying if you don't get a flu shot, you can't go into the grocery store. You can't work in this place of business or whatever. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the new normal right now. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get there, unfortunately, which is going to make it almost impossible for people to maneuver and survive if they don't have that vaccination card. You know. That's just the way it is, fam. Hey, I've expressed a lot today, man. I already know that there's a lot of our viewers who are in disagreement with my views, and I understand that. I respect your view. I understand that. I respect your view. You don't have to respect mine. I would encourage you to give me the benefit of the doubt because again, I'm not just spitting stuff that somebody told me, so to speak. Right? I have my own legitimate concerns and belief system. It is what it is, right? But I'm not putting that on anybody. You don't see me out there evangelizing the people don't get vaccinated. You don't see that, right? I'm only speaking for myself, right? So again, I respect everybody who has went out there and gotten the vaccination, but still, if you have, I still encourage you to wear a mask, right? Because that's really what's going on. The majority of the new cases, man, that they're finding, Lollapalooza, man, happened, was it last week? Right? 75% of the new cases up there, right? Because it was a super spreader event. Were vaccinated people.
And it's going to continue to happen. But I'm going to say this. If you haven't been watching the Puff a Minute from the get-go, You don't know how well read this brother is. He has hit us with knowledge after knowledge after knowledge after knowledge. I sit here just try to keep up. I sit here just try to keep up, man. But at the end of the day, man, it's like you can't deny the facts. You can't deny someone that opens a book and reads. That someone that goes and finds information for themselves during the election. When I got the wrong bets for playoffs, man, go do your own research. don't just listen to a puff a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go do your research, man, because we do it. We do our own research. We read. And if it's something I don't know about, I tell Mick real quick, hey, bro, I'm not up to speed on that.
Yeah.
But it's like don't come to us without facts.
Exactly.
You can't come to this show without facts.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
That's it, bro. That's it. In a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Before we go out, man, there's one other thing that I wanted to just touch upon very shortly before we go out. Yesterday, the Homeland Security put out a notice, a warning, or what have you, that there's the possibility of uprising violence from those who are disenchanted from the last election results and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're really saying that in major cities, man, that there's going to be violent uprisings and all of that. That they're already starting to see that they're planning this stuff on social media and so on and so forth. Wherever you are, whatever you do, man, you know, I would say try to avoid crowds. Make sure that you're always aware of your surroundings. Be safe. Yeah. Because again, man, on top of the ridiculousness of what we're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, with this virus, man, and what we're all in the same boat up against, you still got other people out here that are looking for other stuff to start, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, on top of all of that. So it is what it is, man. The political scene in the United States right now is dire. You know, I'm not a fan of anybody out there right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what party affiliation you got going on. I'm not a fan of this of this administration because I feel like it's extremely weak on a lot of fronts, right? So at the end of the day, man, like I said, protect you, protect yours. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to love each other because that's really what it's all about. I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Bank. I don't even want to get into it, man. We got a lame duck administration, man.
Duck, bro.
These dudes is whack as hell, bro.
Ridiculous.
Like I can't name one effective thing they've done yet. Not one.
Not one, bro. Not one. It's sad.
That's a whole nother episode,
man. That's a whole episode, bro. We're going to get into that,
yeah.
bro. We're going to dissect that from the inside out.
You know my focus is small business, man. Yep. I can't name one thing that's helped small businesses in this year. Not one thing. You keep throwing money, and it's not even getting utilized.
Exactly.
It's like, come on, man. Exactly. Anyway, let me get off of that. But we're going to give you the rundown, man. We appreciate you always showing us the love on Instagram. Keep doing that. Make sure to take that over to YouTube, man. We got the whole library episodes up on YouTube. We've been at this for a while now. Everything we talk about is not just popping up and surprise. We've been thorough brothers from the get-go. So make sure to go back on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, all of that, man. And we also got the podcast popping. So we're on multiple platforms, including Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify. You can find us on all those platforms. Be sure to catch us on the podcast. We riding around in your car, man, just listening in on the brothers from a puff a minute. But we appreciate everything y'all do, the support, the love, man. We're gonna keep doing what we do, keep doing what y'all do, man.
That's it, bro. That was perfect, man. Hey, y'all, we know that this one was a little bit long, bro, but again, when you attack or when you attempt to speak on a subject such as this, man, sometimes you gotta be a little bit more verbose, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, again, let us know how you feel about it, man. Hit us up, man. Hit us in the comment section. You know, let us know what your views are. All right. Again, we're not going to let's agree to disagree. If we're going to disagree, let's agree to disagree. Let's have you know, some intelligent discourse, right, without insulting one another, so to speak. But at the end of the day, man, we just sharing with you, you know, where we coming from. You sitting up here with one brother who's fully vaccinated, with one brother who's not. But at the end of the day, the common ground is you need the mask up. All right, I'm gonna keep saying that. Mask up, wear gloves, do what you got to do to protect yourself and others. All right. Peace and love, man. Again, Cigar Mick,
Cigar Banker,
Puff a Minute, man. The original Cigars and Conversation. Love you. We'll see you next time. We out.